Hello, everybody. We are here uh, inside of where I have a lot of my scapes. I'm going to bring on the rest of the Florida Scape team for. There we are. Let's change this. Nope, not that one. There we go. All right. So I don't have a cool intro thingy. I'm just figuring out the program, so we'll figure that out later. But welcome. Today we have Grant Eater and Shelby. Say hi, guys.
How's it going,
And
guys?
and then down below we have Brian from Aquachar. There he is. Say hi, Brian. I think it's my favorite part of the stream is,
All
is Brian.
right.
So how's everybody been?
Good, man. I think you need to announce that it's episode 2 of Half-Scaped. I think that should be.
Oh yeah, I guess that is a big thing. So it's episode 2 of our Half-Scape that we started. I'm not like I said, I'm getting used to this whole thing, so bear with me. So we started episode 1 2 weeks ago. It was going to be every week, but I had some things pop up and had to bail last week. So this is episode 2. Last week we talked about what, algae control or tank maintenance or something like that.
Tank
right?
maintenance.
Yeah. So today I wanted to follow that up because tank maintenance falls in line a lot with progression and goals. So whenever you start something in any aquarium-based hobby, typically it's best to go at it with a goal. You set some sort of achievement you want to go towards, and then you start working towards it. I mean, Grant, when you got into shrimp, were you like, I just want to grow shrimp? Or did you have some sort of like idea in your head that you wanted to become something more than just a average shrimp hobbyist?
So I got into it for the genetics. Before shrimp, I was doing chameleons, and I wanted to create a different color combination of ambelobe chameleons. And I'm young, I got plenty of time, but I found out that I really do not have the patience at all. So we went through a couple batches of eggs, but it takes so long. The reproduction rate of chameleons compared to shrimp, it's just incredibly quicker for shrimp. So I swapped out chameleons for shrimp in the hopes that I'd be able to create something different.
Did you have an earthquake, Brian?
I was moving over there because I actually have a tank running with stuff in the background now.
So exactly, man. You had a goal. You wanted to play with the genetics. You wanted to create something. So
Brian
yeah.
had the earthquake.
You should just mute me.
No, this is great. This is gold.
Oh,
So yeah, the your goal helped you work towards something, right? Like
Right.
right. So you probably had times where you weren't having a good run in your hobby. Like things were probably going south, but your goal kept you going in a bit, you know? And in aquascaping, that phase is that algae phase or that new tank phase where things just look like crap. But if you keep that vision, that goal in mind of whatever it is, like in a Dutch tank, or you see that outline of the silhouette of all the plants going across and your final trim you're going to take, to hold that goal and carry it forward will motivate you through all that stuff. And I guess that's what I'm trying to find in correlation with last week's episode when we were talking about aquarium maintenance, because it seems to be like daunting sometimes when you have like so many aquariums up and your life is just this, you know, do the water changes, do the water changes, do the water changes. But you keep it in mind of your goal makes that more enjoyable. You know, it takes a task that can be looked at as like mundane maintenance and turns it into something cathartic, something relaxing, something that you can like totally vibe out into, just put on some music and do. And it makes the other things in life seem less annoying. Right?
Yeah.
So Brian,
yeah.
with Aquachar, what goals did you dive
Well,
into to really
so let me.
make that take off?
Yeah. I don't know. I think I kind of like going into it. I kind of have to go with like where my high point was in the hobby. So like, I don't know if you want if this is a question for later or not, but like I can explain why I was available to do Aquachar or even try to work in the industry or
The
introduce
mic
products in the
is
industry.
the mic is yours, sir.
All right.
Free talk. Take as long as you like.
Yeah. So for me, like my high point was, Brian James. I met him. He's local to me, actually. We met through the local club. My friend Jill, who's like one of my best friends still to this day. We call each other randomly. Like she's in Hawaii right now, and she'll call me, "Hey, what's going on? I just want to check on you," that type of thing. So he invited us to a group with like a bunch of stateside scapers to go see. This is back when Takashi Amano's tank was I think it was like an 18-month commission. So we got to go there. Uris came. So like he was like a tour, like went and talked to the director. He actually announced to our group while we were there that they got the funding to keep the Amano tank like running as an additional exhibit in Lisbon, like while we were there. So like that was a cool experience. That's probably one of the places like I was in the hobby. So after that, we got invited to go to Holland for like basically a night. Like we flew in, they picked us up. We basically had it was a party. So Esther basically what she did was she sent out a mass thing, said the Americans are coming. Let's have a party. So what she did was she set it up to she picked us up, brought her to her farm, gave us a tour, everything like that, then brought us back to where she now has Esther Garden, and we did she introduced the first thing we did was we did something we called an estafette, which is like the Dutch translation, I guess if I remember correctly, was like a relay. So every time, like, so we did a skate up outside of her office that only had pink plants. And every single person, we just took a turn putting a different rock and made a skate together, like as a whole, like group, like a relay race. And everyone took a turn, kind of like, and they scaped a really cool scape that stayed there for a while. So yeah, then we did a competition where they basically drew names out of a hat, and we got to do basically what Esther had set up. Is she had gotten a bunch of 10-gallon tanks, and we drew names out of the hat, and they paired one American with one European. And she basically said, go into the nursery and take whatever plant you want. She had ordered a bunch of pallets of stones and everything like that, wood, anything you want. So I got paired up with the guy from the Aquascapers of Sweden. His name's Christian. He's still a friend to this day. It's been 5 years, and we'll reach out and talk to each other every once in a while. So what we did was we basically started everyone scaping, doing their own individual scapes, and we actually did one that we actually like really scaped outside, so it kind of went through the glass and everything because it was only for the night type of thing. So yeah, it was so at that point we actually ended up, him and I got, like, we went around and voted, and him and I ended up winning that contest. I don't know if I have the picture. I'll have to, maybe one other episode I'll be more prepared for this story. So yeah, we had so him and I ended up winning, when everyone ended up voting for it and all that stuff. So that was a cool experience. And then one of the other cool things is right after that, we had Esther comes to Orlando. So me and my friend Jill and then Therese, we all go into the Global Pet Expo together. And we'd always have a friends dinner. So like every year she'd invite a different random group, but it would always be us core 5 that would just have this friends dinner at the Hard Rock Cafe in Orlando. I have memories of my friend Jill showing Chris Lupka, her pink handgun that she carries, and him being absolutely blown away that she's carrying a handgun with her. And she's in the military, so it's actually kind of funny. So anyways, that was probably my high point. I came back from that trip and that friendship and, just feeling connected with the hobby. I was putting out a bunch of scapes at that time. I actually, my photo skills weren't very good, but I actually had I actually entered into the IAPLC, got a bunch of scapes going, all that stuff. So, yeah, that was probably my high point where I had my biggest passion. Then you get life coming along and stuff like that. And I mean, I kept it going. I've always had tanks, both saltwater and freshwater running. But yeah, then I met the skate team, we kind of started doing the thing again, and it's gotten my passion back. Like I was legitimately, you guys saw me earlier. I was actually dancing because I was excited to actually have time to skate because I scheduled it.
Sorry, my dog was jumping on the computer.
Yeah.
So what led you to Aquachar? That's my biggest thing.
Aquachar,
what goal did you develop?
That was a great story, Brian, but you didn't score. There was no goal there.
What goal did you develop to get to Aquachar?
So back to Aquachar then. After I did all of that and got that passion going, you start learning. I mean, you guys know how to do it, like how much work a competition tank is, and when you're actually trying to do the CO2 injected and trying to do something that's photo ready. I'll get my phone in a minute and I'll actually show you guys a picture of it. So I was ready to do Aquachar from the standpoint of I had quit using activated carbon like 8 years before I met Ricky, the inventor, because my saltwater side, my favorite sailfin tang, got hole and head lateral line disease, and I figured it out. It was, leaving activated carbon in too long. And then on the planted side, it was stripping my nutrients just because it would become like a septic zone.
Sorry.
The lightning mode.
I pressed the wrong.
No, I gotcha.
In the app.
So yeah, I met the inventor. I actually didn't believe what he was saying very much, but he had a story that was like he had answers for my doubts and questions, and I used it myself and decided to start a company with him. Nice. He's an inventor, a scientist, a dreamer, and I'm a business guy. So I decided that being the face of a brand is difficult, but I knew myself well enough because I had both saltwater and freshwater tanks and, aquascaping experience and some connections in the industry. So yeah, that's where I got into Aquachar, is because I was able to use it myself and really overuse it in some of my planted tanks that I had. Like I used to have a 500-gallon system when I first, like, I set this up like after after Aquachar came around. I set up a commercial. It was from an old pet store system that
one of the big acrylic tanks.
75 gallon. No, it was these metal stands that they were all attached with like 6-inch pipes to a big clear sump. They were 75s, all about that. I got my planted tank, or I got my plant license, and started my LLC. And I was ready to start a business and kind of be in the industry and do that. So that whole experience of getting to that high, keeping that high while working in the industry is a whole nother story. But that's why I'm excited to escape a little tonight.
Yeah. Cool, man. So, yeah, I mean, with me, my goal with Aquascape has always been to give people a place to create, to bring all aspects of the hobby together, and one big platform for everybody to have anything you need in one place. Kind of like, I don't know how to put this, but like, you want fish, it'll be there. You want plants, there's someone there for that. You want shrimp, we have a connection with probably the best shrimp breeder in the United States. It's the a community is what Aquascape is. It's not just Chance Kramer. Aquascape is about boosting the hobby in America. It's about building what is going on in other countries, what has been going on in other countries for so long, and taking those backgrounds and those ethics and pulling it together. In order to build what we have here, we need a community. You can't have an ego in this. You can't pull one mind and say, "Haha, I'm going to take off and I'm going to create this all on my own." It's not going to work. You'll end up running into the same thing that we've seen in this hobby before: prices going through the roof, and then hobbyists not being able to enter the hobby and not being able to do what they want to do. But if people act as a community in this, if we come together, which is what my goal is, we could all make a piece in this, as well as boost what is American aquascaping. That's what Aquascape is. So that's my goal, is to make American aquascaping something better, as well as
You have another goal though, man.
oh
I
yeah,
really like your other goal.
the plants.
To flower and collect seed from every aquatic plant. I think that's a great goal too.
The aquatic plant library, yeah, that's a personal thing. That's not what Aquascape is, though.
No, I know. I'm just talking about goals. You know what I mean? It's part of Aquascape. It's part, you know what I mean?
I suppose, but
They're
yeah,
both traveling down the same path.
yeah, they go hand in hand a bit. But yeah, the aquatic plant library is more about preservation, and that comes from a more personal goal of like growing up and watching places that I used to play as a kid being turned into like Walmart parking lots and stuff like that. That's extremely disheartening. I mean, you probably feel it a lot coming from where you're from. You've seen a lot of development and a lot of coastal erosion and things like that, where it's just not there anymore. It's not the same. So,
Well, where we live, yeah, but where I come from, everything is pretty much different.
exactly.
I'm from Hawaii, so
That's what I'm saying.
All right, I didn't know if everybody else knew that. So
Yeah,
But,
that's what I'm saying.
I think maybe we should get the chat a little bit involved. If anybody has some goals and plant, shrimp, aquarium related at all, ask about it in chat, and then we can bring it up.
So I'll go back through the chat here. We'll just say hi to everybody real quick. Hey Jamie, what's up? How you doing? Atkins Nature, what's going on? Looks like Grant's been in the chat. My bad.
No, you're good, man.
Cool.
I got it running on mine. I can't talk in chat on here, so I got it on my phone.
Yeah, I got to figure out. I don't know. There's got to be a way to like add you as admin permissions for it or whatever. We'll do it.
Yeah, I think so, because like Lefty and Ed do streams, and Rico, and I believe like other people pull stuff up and run stuff for them at the same time.
I couldn't find the setting for it or whatever, but like I said, I'll dig into it more.
And I know like Susan does Diego's stream, and Diego's not even there, and it's on Diego's channel, so there's got to be a way. Also, after you go through chat, then maybe we can go through goals for this year. Each one of us go through and give our goal. We're about halfway through the year almost, so.
Yeah, so this here speaks to me a lot. When you start Escape, that's part of the goal setting. This is like a good point. Doing research, setting goals involves making sure that your goals are achievable. So doing proper research on the plants that you're going to use is key to accomplishing a stunning scape. If you don't know the size of a plant and you go ahead and plant it somewhere and it just gets ginormous, or if you don't know the color of a plant and the color scheme of the plants you chose, and it comes together looking like just a big red blob, there's no contrast in it, then that's, obviously lack of research, and your goal is not going to be achieved. So yeah, doing research on the plants is like definitely one of the biggest things I think's overlooked.
Not saying that you can't get away with not researching plants and still do nice aquascapes. You can have very plant selection and still get away with it, but
but nice
research as much as you can. It'll give you more tools to make a better scape.
Nice and top 10 are different.
Yeah.
Well, and if you're gonna get plants or use somebody's time like Chance, like buy plants from him. Listen to his advice. You
got to read it out loud, Chance.
See, I was reading it in my head first to make sure that the sentence made some sense. So Amazon sword, a 75-gallon. It's been there for 3 years. It's massive. Never sent any runners. So the reason for that is Amazon swords don't send runners. They grow off each other in like a big clump. So here's my phone. It'll grow another plant like this. It'll grow another plant like this, like that. It'll also send a flower spike up, and each one of the little auxiliary buds on that flower spike will eventually turn into its own little plantlet on each side. So you'll get a chance of 2 to even 4 plantlets off of each flower spike going up of it.
And I just asked Chance not very long ago how to get the seeds off of my swords, and he's like, "Just let it plant out." And
yeah,
I already got like 6 plants off of
awesome
two shoots.
Sweet.
All right. So I got a local fish club story that's kind of like on that question. So one time I had the same thing. I had this huge, massive Amazon sword that I had grown out in this tank for a long time. So I had posted a picture on the local fish club group saying I was bringing like like I was listing what I was bringing into like the local fish club auctions, and I said a 24-inch sword. And the wife of the president, she thought she was talking about like a sword tail, like a swordfish, a sword tail. So she's like, "Whoa, he's bringing a 24-inch sword tail."
I've seen them big, but not that big.
No, I know. It was just funny because they all laughed about that for years. Every time somebody would say like a sword, they always say 24-inch sword.
You got baby sword tails out in one of our totes.
Yeah, I see you guys are getting into fish. That makes me so happy.
We also got baby parrot blue, polar blues too.
That's awesome, dude. That makes me so happy. Like, I'm so glad that you guys are going to have some selection up there too. I just linked up with my buddy Eric, who's a big time guppy breeder. He's hooking up with Aquascape, and he's going to have some space here at the nursery where he's going to be breeding all these fancy tail guppies and stuff like that too. You guys will see him around. He's going to jump on some videos with me. He's a really cool dude.
Who is it?
His name's Eric Smitherson. He used to breed reptiles and stuff like that, just for fun and stuff. But he's not really big known in the hobby or whatever. He's kind of just does it for his own enjoyment. But
I just sold him something. Yeah.
Yes, you have. I introduced him to your sales page. He's been looking.
Do you think he would do a talk? Because we need a speaker, and I know you didn't get back to Kevin, and I love you, Chance. It's not that I don't want you to speak again. It's just I don't even like myself to speak at the club within a 12-month period. And I think it's been like 8 to 9 months since you last spoke at the club.
Yeah, I wasn't going to speak. I was just going to do a demo. So I figured it'd be a little offshoot, a little different. But
oh, okay. That Kevin didn't tell me that.
Yeah, no, I was going to do a Wabikusa demo.
I didn't. I told him I was going to talk to you tonight about whether or not that would be cool.
Yeah, I just got to figure out. My problem is I didn't realize he wanted me for that soon. I got to see.
Yeah, that's our thing. So maybe I'll reach out to him and see if he can do a talk, because we definitely need some local talent, because the only good speakers that I think are worth. Our club is so big; it has 100 people coming to the meetings. So it's like I think we could afford to bring more out-of-state talent, but I'm all for the local talent. If we have somebody, worth bringing in, like, let's do it. But I don't know. The club needs more finessing to get him happy and keep everyone coming. So keep
No,
the
I
hype.
I agree, man. I just started the Florida Aquatic Plant Club back up, and that's going to be something that I run into is getting good speakers and stuff like that. But you
Yeah,
know,
if
it
you
is what
don't,
it
and
is.
Eric doesn't, I'm gonna stand up and announce the speaker on Saturday, and it's gonna be Shelby, and she's gonna speak about how she puts up with my shit.
I don't know how that would go, man. I think she would just like throw something at you. She doesn't even want to acknowledge you said that. It's great. So Shelby, what's your goal? What are some things that have
Too many. Too many.
For this year, what do you want to accomplish
Yeah.
for this year? And before she gets too ahead, I want to write it down so I got proof, and we can make it follow through.
Yeah, because it's totally not being recorded or anything.
I'll never go back to this timestamp.
Yeah. Currently just trying to breed fish. I want to breed all the Achilles fish, and wild betas are pretty much my goal for this year, is just breeding them and having success with them.
Not all the wild betas, just your alien pair. We don't have tank or all of the wild betas. We have just one pair. So we need to make realistic goals. I think that's
Realistically,
what
he's
started
building a
tonight.
rack for my fish, is what I heard him say. He said he's building a rack for the middle of the living room, and I heard it's for my fish.
Wow, nice.
No, I said half.
90
90
of
tanks.
it's for the fish.
45, half of one side for the fish. And that half will be for the live stream.
I
so
mean,
the live stream will
realistically,
be...
who's going to win, the fish or the shrimp? Realistically, so I would not chance for
Oh,
shrimp.
you guys should do a vote.
way easier to catch your fish. And
He's
just
got
right into the pool.
300 tanks of shrimp, and he can't spare me 90 for fish.
Until those fish start bringing in some dollars. All right. So what else?
First of all,
Any
some of my
isopod
shrimp
goals?
brought in the money, so we could spare some tanks for those.
She did sell 10 Galaxy Pintos today for $250. So I mean,
Nice.
But I am doing a lot of water changes on those. So what else? Got isopod goals?
Nope.
No isopod goals?
Nope. Lucky if they stay alive.
Oh,
Not lucky if you.
sorry. I'm like,
She's making really good money on the shows with the isopod, so I don't know why she's not.
That was it.
That was it? That's your only goals for this year?
Get more sleep.
Get more sleep?
get more sleep.
I feel you that one.
Well, we started swimming, and then we took the kids to a bounce park, and now all they want is passes to the bounce park.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Bounce parks are crazy, man. I used to bring my daughter to one, and the people would just like let their kids go random in there, and those kids would be like the worst kids in the world, man.
There's like some 14, 16-year-olds like just on the dodgeball field, and it's
and
like
body checking like 8-year-olds around. It's great.
And if it wasn't for my ankle, I would have gone in and jumped around with them, but I don't want to risk breaking it. We've been doing a lot of swimming at the pool, and just pushing off the bottom sometimes has been hurting my ankle here and there. So
here we go. Shelby, you read that one.
So shall we have a breeding contest? Toss a bunch of swordtails and mollies in his boa tanks to breed more profitable.
There we go.
Acts like we want to
not
get
in the
money.
boa tank, maybe like side by side and see which one does better. But like, I don't sell any of my boas. Like, I keep all of them, so I'm not gonna make very much money there.
So, what are your goals, Grant, for the future, for this year?
For this year, I got to set up all the tubs on the right side of the house. So there's like 30 to 40 IBC totes that need to get in position and set up one way or another. For the other side of the house, I'm not really doing an automated water change system, but I am going to do a better fill system with PVC piping, T joints, and then the adjuster valves. So that way I can just run the hose and fill up all of the tubs at one time. So I can
Nice.
get them drained at night and then wake up in the morning, fill them all up, get it all done in like an hour or so. And then I can jump on doing the rest of my water changes inside. I want to get a 300-gallon drum to store RO water so I can run that all night long. We should have up to 400 tanks inside the house by the end of the year. And I think that's it. I think that's
Nice.
enough.
What about you, Brian?
Oh, so one of my goals this year, well, actually my only goal this year. So like I've been in the saltwater side, which isn't my hobby, for the last basically 3 years, because that's where aquaculture has been, and where my market's been. But my goal this year is to kind of get in the freshwater side and show the benefits long term, and how to balance and manage your biological and keep a healthy tank with less maintenance, and understanding things like, certain routines. Like, people don't want to know the details, but they just want to be able to find out that there's a way. So like one of my things is I talked to Grant about, a couple new products, like a substrate, using the flakes as a substrate additive, like to put underneath. No, I remember I sent in the group chat, I found a thing, actually, it's right here. I probably could not tell you how much I paid for this, which is just like this big of like, China has like a traditional carbon that they use, but it's just basically like the flake remains of like when they break it apart, that they probably get for next to nothing. It's part of a mono system. So like, if you've ever seen like his aquarium manual, he actually recommends starting your tank with like 3/4 of carbon to handle the ammonia. So with aquachar being something that transfers over to be a biological media, I think it's a good way of kind of being that live rock you can rent in making aquarium maintenance easy. So that's my goal for this year, is kind of work that. And then my second goal is to get happy with this tank and get water in it. Last year we had to spend money on getting a deep well in our backyard, which cost a lot of money. So what's that?
How much was it? I want a well. It might be on my
$12K plus what I had to do to upgrade my system from chlorine to hydrogen peroxide.
How about the pounding for them to dig the well, cracking your foundation? Or did you
What's
not
that?
find? How about them digging the well, cracking your foundation? Or did you not find that yet?
We didn't have any issues with it. The way they did it, they were precision where they put it, and I sat there and watched them because I'm home all day. So like, these guys were like super precision, like just had the bends draining out and everything like that. So no, I feel comfortable with what it is. They did leave some tracks, but I'm gonna backfill those in. And
Nice.
I had to have it. It was one of those things I had to have it done because we were getting sand in our filtration system. So like, once a shallow well starts pulling sand, and it's only been like 5 years since we did that well.
Yeah.
Once it starts pulling sand, it starts getting heavy iron and everything like that. So and then all that sand gets clogged in your filtration system, so it'll like basically stop your flow.
Yeah.
So had to replace it. I'm excited to finally run tanks on the deep well with a system that I know I'm running. Like,
What's the advantages of a deep well compared to a shallow well?
all right, so there's different there's advantages and disadvantages. So like, a shallow well, you get a lot of higher iron and manganese and kind of like some of those heavier metals, just based on the way nature works and breaks things down. Um, and on a deep well, you get a lot more sulfur gases and stuff like that you have to off gas from that standpoint. So like for us, we have to use 7% hydrogen peroxide, like kind of like on a doser in our water system to keep our pipes clean and keep that and kind of be like the chlorination of city water. Uh, I've actually not had too many issues with the hydrogen peroxide. I did make a mistake yesterday in my saltwater tank, and I won't explain what I did, but I lost 2 fish, and I haven't lost a fish in a long time, like even like small fish.
I hate losing fish.
Me
That's
too.
part of why I stopped keeping fish for like so long.
So I was actually excited because I don't know if you remember, like the fish that we had on the tank. There was like a late like March freeze that we had come through here for like one night. So I thought it killed all of the fish that we had for our that we used for our escape that we did at Aquashella. But I looked in there the other day and I saw there was 4 of them still alive on there. So
Nice. Yeah, someone somehow a leaf fish wound up in my Australian biotope tank, the only tank that I have like going really,
yeah,
that I have my rainbows and some other things in, all from Australia. That leaf fish destroyed destroyed things. So I don't know how it got in there either, but oh well. It's a leaf fish home now.
I had another goal for the year. I want to do one of the major escape contests, whether it's IIC or
You missed that one, so
I missed
yeah,
that
I'm
one.
gonna do that one.
yeah.
Like
you missed-
that's what I want to get this tank to. Is just something that I can submit. I don't care what I get. I just want to do it.
I swear I just sent it to Shelby yesterday, and the closing was like the end of this month on the 30th or the 31st.
I thought it was May 30th. It's June 30th.
I believe so.
Okay.
I just looked at it yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, throw something together, enter it.
But or the CChem one, one of the two.
That was
That's
my
cool.
contest tank.
That's cool. So yeah, I'm gonna do a dry start on the tank behind
June
me.
30th.
June 30th. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna do a dry start on the tank behind me with various mosses and things like that I'm gonna paint on to the wood using the old school Amano style moss painting techniques.
With the yogurt?
I'm going to skip out the yogurt. The yogurt causes a mess. I found another way to use something else as a base. I'm going to do a video about it later on in the week when I do it. It's a better base than yogurt. Doesn't turn into mold and doesn't smell like ass. And I'm going to plant all my foreground and things along those lines, all the carpeting plants ahead of time. And I'm going to grow it out for a full year before I enter it into next year, just to have this thing cooking nice and good. But I won't show anybody like a full-on close-up of it, but there you go.
So since we couldn't get enough tanks to build the next stand, I think I'm gonna clear off one of these shelves and put the fluval tank on it.
Nice.
For one of the old racks. So
yeah, I got the fluval tank in my greenhouse. I'm gonna move it over to the foot of my bed over here. I'm gonna turn it into a farm tank here soon. I have a 60U over there behind a little refrigerator that I need to break down as well. So as far as my goals for the year, man, I want to win Chicago Aquashella.
I was just about to thinking about that.
So that's my goal. I am gonna be honest. We're gonna have our hands full. I don't know if you guys have heard, but Jeff Miyoki entered through a photo contest aspect of Aquashella Orlando and already qualified for Chicago. And
Yeah, no, I know he already.
I figured he'd be in it.
Jeff Miyoki's team is all the members of TAC. So we have John
Oh,
Penny
trust me, I get it.
and some. We have some.
I
We have
thought he
some.
was just by himself though. No.
No.
So we have some awesome competition, which is cool. I'm very excited to skate alongside people like John Penny and Jeff Miyoki again. So we're gonna have our hands full, especially now that we can't really pregame or pre-plan much. We just have to show up, and I really believe our edge is going to be plants, and that's where we need to pull through hard because we can't plan on hardscape. But man, we can bring every single freaking plant we have.
No, we can't.
They're providing plants. Too?
Everything. Yeah. No, nothing will be able to. We won't have any edge. Everybody will have the same thing. Everything's done in house.
Oh, cool. So there's no creativity now. Awesome.
Yeah. There's no.
Nice.
Yeah. You can't revamp anything or do anything like that. I think our edge.
So it's not an aquascaping competition anymore. It's like a coloring book that they hand you.
It's who can repeat those.
Not really a coloring book. I mean, coloring's paint between.
Well, yeah, because
no, it's like, copying. It's copying.
It's like here's the materials, kids. Go play.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be 6 pallets though. It's gonna be a lot. So I think our advantage is our hardscape work and us being able to do things last minute and put it all together.
We didn't plan most of them, so
neither one. Yeah, I mean,
no, I understand that, but the plants are something that we did plan. You know what I mean? Because now we're going to be working with whatever stuff that they get from whoever they get it from.
Yeah,
right. And then you did the YouTube contest, man. You saw how much of a disaster that was with going to pick hardscape.
Yeah, but that's when Sean talked to me about it. I said, look, if you want good scapes, we need an endless supply of material. So he.
What we need to make sure is that it's a rotation. So however many teams it is, you go in order and pick what you want.
I don't think it's going to be like that.
What's that?
I don't even think it's going to be like that, man. I think he was wanting it there to be so much stuff that everybody.
That's not going to work though, because those guys. I won't get into that. It's cool.
I feel like it's going to be a little bit more fair for people that can't get together and build their hardscape outside of it.
No. Well, what's cool is I'm not going to have a booth, so I can spend all my time.
Yeah, but you can still qualify and enter through photo competition for Dallas. So, why are the rules for the Dallas people different for the rules for the Orlando people? And it's the middle. It's the middle. It's the middle of a circuit. It's the middle of the competition. You know what I mean? The competition started when Orlando started, right? So basically the rules changed in the middle of the competition. So that's like having an Olympic relay race.
Same with the prize money.
And then changing the baton to a spiked baton. I don't know. But anyway.
We'll see. We'll get to see how it runs, though, in Dallas. Because you're going, Chance. Are you going to be in Dallas, Brian?
No, I'm not planning to go in Dallas.
How are you getting there, Chance? Are you flying?
I haven't decided yet. I haven't decided if I'm going, but yeah. I don't know yet. I'm either going to hitch a ride with Will or I'm going to fly.
Who's Will?
Will Nace.
Oh. All right.
You can walk to his house. I can shoot his house with my paintball gun. It's fun.
There's a couple good questions in chat if you want to go through.
Yeah, sure. Where are we? Here you go, Grant.
You gotta read it.
All right. What rock can you use besides Dragonstone for aquascaping in a Carradina tank? Right off the top of my head, the only one I can really think of that's readily available is the river rock, the river pebble and stuff like that.
Right, the petrified wood.
The petrified wood is another good one. You do got to be careful. Some of the veins could have copper in it and stuff like that, but I've never seen any of it like that. What's another good inert hardscape?
So that's what matters, is it needs to
Yeah.
be inert.
Has
Okay,
to
so
be
lava rock.
Yeah,
Lava
lava.
rock would be awesome, I suppose, because of the pores and stuff like that.
Yeah, the larger lava rock, though, not the stuff you get from Home Depot.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
that's still fine, but it's not. It doesn't look good.
Yeah. There's actually, we were at a local nursery of mine. I, as crazy as it sounds, we went there and I brought a little vial of like hydrochloric acid or not hydrochloric, I'm sorry, muriatic acid. And I was dripping it on the stones that they had available in their like little quarry section just to see what was reactive or not. And I found a really, really, really cool like greenish blue stone that wasn't reactive at all. And they had like large chunks of it and stuff like that, and it
So
looked pretty decorative.
That reminds me. There's also that sparkling. There's like the rose. There's what are the other two types? There's There's three.
Mint.
The mint. There's three types of sparkling rock that came from
New Zealand.
quartz mines in New Zealand.
Oh, cool.
And the rosa is like pink and sparkly. So we got our hands on some of it, but like not enough to do a huge tank. It would be really good if we could do it for like the packable.
So like
but that ends in 4 days.
Like 12 years ago, I got some, like, there was a guy in Utah that got permission to like collect this red lava rock that had really cool like designs and stuff. Like he'd go out and like hand pick it in this guy's field of lava rock. So I bought a ton of it from him. Like he shipped it in like flat rate boxes. This is like 12 years ago on YouTube. But yeah, he was a planted tank guy, and I bought a ton of this stuff, and I still have it nowadays, and it's so cool. Actually, that's the type of rock I used on my scape with some manzanita from Tunbar.
So, do you use botanicals at all, Grant?
None,
right?
Absolutely no purpose in them other than if your shrimp has like some type of bacterial infection, or if you don't have enough surface area in your tank and you're not able to grow enough biofilm. Yeah, the botanicals can produce a good amount of biofilm. Maybe if you're going away on vacation for 2 or 3 weeks, drop a piece of Indian almond leaf in there, but I don't use them.
I used them for betas and stuff like that, I guess, just to like really keep the pH down, but I never used them for shrimp either.
No, I mean, the question is what's the best one and what rotation to use.
Yeah.
I would use Indian almond leaves, and I would use one for every 10 gallons plus one. And as soon as you see one deteriorating and fall off, wither away, add another one.
So I'll answer this one because I know Brian is probably tired of answering this one, but yes. So I'll answer an Aquachar question. No, it doesn't. Aquachar doesn't mess with any of the fertilizers or anything that's beneficial or wanted in the water. I've grown many a beautiful plant using Aquachar in my filter. In fact, if I can, no, I'm not even going to try because I don't want to pull up any other photos that I may have on my computer. I have a lot of like, cannabis pictures and stuff like that, and I feel that probably wouldn't be good to pull up on YouTube. No, it doesn't strip your water, but I mean, like I said, I've grown plants as sensitive as like Amania pedicellata gold and as hardy as all the Vallisonerias with Aquachar, and it doesn't strip anything. So even the nutrient hungry plants, they're fine. It doesn't do anything to it. The only thing that I do differently is I do soak the Aquachar in vinegar for a bit, but that's not anything negative. Brian, if you want to, you can explain what that does. If not, that's cool too.
No, actually, I'd love to because you actually gave a great response on that, and that's why I was talking I talked to Grant last week, and I need to catch up with you sometime because like I want to. So like if you ever seen activated carbon, it's always really small. I want to offer that as a part of a substrate base or something like that on the planted tank side because Not only so, a lot of the fertilizers you dose, it's salt based, so they don't have a charge to it. It's basically an inorganic mineral that can sit on there. But what can happen is as you feed your tank, as the waste breaks down, some of those stuff can actually become organically bound, stuck in your substrate. That's why you get like the heavy. That's why cleaning your substrate is important on preventing algae, because algae eats off the organically bound stuff. Like it'll eat off that, just flakes in your water, and basically it'll catch it. It's sticky, stuff like that. But what it does is it actually breaks it down and frees it. Once it becomes organically bound, it allows the bacteria to break it down from a biological standpoint. So it makes it more. It releases it as a biologically active fertilizer, when it would have just sat in your substrate and eventually became an issue, or you had to pull it out. So
makes sense. Yeah, no, I mean, I've used the flakes that you've sent me underneath, in my immerse bins. I used it in a few aquariums too. The cup tank, I had the bottom half-inch was Aquachar, so it worked. It didn't affect anything. It'd be interesting to, like we were talking about before, to make that have multiple purposes.
Yeah.
In other
ways.
The
vinegar part.
Yes.
The vinegar part. So Aquachar, so there's, to the best of my understanding, because this is something as a Planet Tank guy, this is why I let Aquachar take off in the saltwater side, because they want a higher pH. And my concern always was, and I've done my own testing, and I understand how buffers work, and especially with buffered substrates like we use in most of our tanks anyways. So I know that most of the time it's neutralized, and if you use it in that type of system, like, Grant was taking unwashed handfuls, and, even a month later, he never saw more than like a bump up of like 0.2 or something. I can't remember, but like
it was like 0.2 at the most. Some of them there's no change.
So basically,
and the 0.2 is on the brown, and the brown kind of doesn't hold the pH as well. So
yeah. So here's the thing: is what I say for the Planet Tank side is, if you understand, so Aquachar is not a carbon source, so like it's not being eaten by our bacteria. It's a structure that brings in the carbon source to it makes it easier for bacteria to kind of break it down. Think of like a hotel, and each one's eating whatever's left over, or delivering it the waste to the next person, in like a system type of standpoint.
That sounds like a really fun hotel to stay at.
I know, dude. So I think I can say this on here, but it shows. I look over my shoulder to make sure there's no kids around, and I tell people, dude, Aquachar, bacteria likes Aquachar because they're lazy like me. They only want to eat and reproduce. So what we do is we bring the food. We act like Uber Eats for your bacteria, so they
leave cookies on their nightstand.
So that's more the mentality we're trying to push, is like the beneficial. Like, you can't have too much of the beneficial side. You still got to keep good husbandry skills going, but it makes it so much easier when you just have that little bit of extra biological balance, that especially if you don't understand it. So the vinegar part is just what we do is we actually functionalize it with kind of like a hydroxide. So to neutralize it, a lot of people we found to put a carbon source on it, we use vinegar as an acid just to kind of neutralize it for 24 hours. I think I have instructions on the website. So, or you can reach out to me if you have questions about that, or John's.
So, yes, I have. The amino acids are awesome. I mean, you can also you can source them individually without having to go through Aquavitro. If you do a bit of research, you can find those same acids and order them whole off of Amazon even. But
there's like 20 of them,
and
total.
you can also, there's natural sources for some of them, like Bootstrap molasses will provide you a few of those. And I know a few really amazing aquatic horticulturalists who have won Dutch competitions in the past who use molasses in their Planet Aquarium tanks. It's a sugar, it's an agar, it's a starch. That's what the plants turns into a carbohydrate, and they do their thing with it. but it also breaks down into various amino acids for the plants. So, yeah, I've heard about it.
I almost
it's-
killed my mosquito plant though because I dumped out a lemonade on top of it.
You gotta be careful with that, man. I used to pee on my mom's. I used to pee on my mom's aloe plants in the house. It's so funny that it became a
In the
plant.
house?
In the house, dude.
What
I was young, bro.
the?
But yeah, I used to pee on my mom's aloe plants. It's
I
really
was like
funny.
19 and
I was only
Wasted.
22.
oh my
No,
god.
I was like 2 or 3. But it was fun.
Like right in the beginning of COVID, and I just didn't want to go.
No, that's when I used the aquariums, man.
Hey,
That's
we
why-
did skip. You skipped the question though.
Where
from
did I
Chris
skip
Keeper. Aside from Java moss, are there any other types of moss that could toss in a blender for a dry
Oh,
start
My
to
bad.
cover in wood or substrate carpet?
Yes, any moss will
Yeah.
do that. Any moss will do it. What
Any
really
aquatic
works well?
moss. You don't
Yeah,
want to
you don't
go
want-
and get some star moss from the forest floor and then
No.
toss it in a blender, grow it in a dry start, and then flood it. That's not going to last very long.
No, it'll turn into a disaster.
Lost him. He was doing so
Brian,
good tonight.
He was, man. I think he purposely did that. I think
I
I
think
saw
so,
him
too.
click. I think I saw him click.
Yeah.
I think I saw him click. Yeah, any moss will work. Any aquatic moss. Even
I
the
gotta get a password for somebody.
even the aquatic liverworts too, like subwassertang and all the Paleas and stuff like that. Those work.
I wonder if red moss will do it.
Rishardia. I don't know, man. Red moss is pretty invasive. I imagine it will. I imagine you could.
I need
dissect
to
a lot of
I need to
that.
throw it in one of the new tanks.
That stuff takes over.
What are you jumping on a camera for, Shelby? Do we have
Oh, no.
babies? Are there baby tequilas? She's got me excited.
Nice.
No babies though.
Aw,
She's just getting photos.
just photos. So, what's going on with the fish now? How's that coming along?
Just moving along slowly but surely. I mean, we got a couple breeding colonies going of a couple fish, but I don't know. It's mostly Shelby's thing. Shelby feeds the fish every night. That's her ordeal. Jaden got his hand on another flower horn. And then I got to look into the rice fish because we definitely have breeding rice fish. And we threw a mop in there and no eggs yet. And it's the right kind of mop for the rice fish. And it's not a yarn one. It's the bristle, the harder mesh or whatever it's made out of. Dane made it for us. And I don't know if the temperature is not right or what, but we haven't gotten any eggs. And I figured they would have been producing eggs. Huh? Or maybe not feeding them enough. But I was also told that they wouldn't eat the eggs. So
I gotta talk to my buddy Rock. He breeds them, and like he has like a traditional Japanese Medaka setup with literally it's just like a PVC stand with little Lexan tubs. That's probably only like 2 gallons in each tub, and that's what he breeds them in. And he has like a whole bunch of different varieties of them. I gotta talk to him and see what his parameters are, but he breeds them like no problem. He goes to like Japan and China for months at a time and has a housekeeper that just comes by and makes sure his automations are working right. I should go over there and do a video of his little fish room.
yeah, you should. If you don't, when I come down there, I'm going to ask to go take a look. I've got like 5 fish rooms filmed on my phone. We haven't had any time. I did get my bag of Brightwell substrate so I can finish up the new rack. I'll be doing that tomorrow.
Nice.
We've just been too busy with orders. Like I haven't had any downtime, especially now that the kids are out of school. I usually like take an hour off like during like time where I would be getting orders off and stuff like that, just to hang out, play with the kids and do something. So
Yeah.
I summer break will definitely slow me down a little bit, but I figured tomorrow would be a better time to finish the rack off. I might bust out the paint and touch up the screw heads on them, and then everything's basically done except for the little bars I'm going to put in place to keep the lights all level.
Nice. So I'm going to put up a next question, but first, I just want to remind everybody if we get the streams up to, what would you say, 75 viewers? Is that what we said before? All right, cool.
Yeah, I mean, you said 50, and I think at 50 we should give something away.
All right, cool.
And
Yeah, so
then-
50 will do something. So what do you want to do for 50, Grant?
Are we at 50 right now?
No, we're at 11.
Oh, okay.
I just want to
Well,
know.
You said you would give away $25 in Aquascape. I'll give a $25 gift card, and
All right.
what will happen is when you purchase whatever through me with the $25 gift card, I'll throw in a free bag of Aquachar too, one of the bigger bags. So that way you get something from all three of us.
Yep, and I got you from Aquachar too. You'll get, or no, you got the Aquachar already, so they don't even need it.
Yeah, I mean,
there you go. Perfect. Awesome. So there you go, guys. If you guys we get the viewers up, we'll go ahead and have a little giveaway here of some plants and some gift cards and stuff like that. So let's see what the next question was. Where was it? There we go. Osmocote pellets just arrived a couple weeks ago. So I would just, with the Osmocote, you just want to go ahead and a single Osmocote pellet under each plant. It gets a little disastrous if you use those gel capsules and cram them under the plants. That's a lot. That's a lot of fertilizer. And anytime you go ahead and disturb those plants after that, as that Osmocote starts to dissolve, you'll get pockets of nutrients that are going to build up in that giant cluster of Osmo balls under your substrate. And all that stuff will leach out into your water column. Now, if you just do a single ball under each plant, I know it takes a long time and is a bit meticulous to sit there and each Osmocote ball, but that's going to give you the best results, because then you can target each plant that you see needs it rather than just taking a capsule that has 10 to 12 Osmocote balls and cramming it under your substrate. And then allowing that the gelatin capsule to dissolve off into your water column. I mean, that's basically giving algae a snack right there. That's dissolved organic that's going to be in your water column that you're allowing to be in there. So I just take an individual ball and pluck it into the plant root column right under the plant there.
And he's back.
It wasn't my internet. Sorry, I had to take care of something real quick.
Yeah, no, your
internet's been great tonight.
Yeah.
I rearranged my whole room just for you guys, so you wouldn't make fun of me and hurt my feelings. I've been crying every other Wednesday night.
So yeah, I mean, I skipped the back half of that question there. So if you wanted to split the sword up, you can uproot it and just basically pull it apart and it'll split. Or if you need assistance, like a razor blade, a sharp razor blade will work really well. I usually, with the swords though, you can just kind of rock them back and forth and they pop apart. But
very rarely do you ever rip the plant off of the root base.
No, it's attached pretty well to those tap roots, so it works well.
Do you say, Chance?
What's up?
Because I remember this. I remember this back from when I got wholesale orders. Do you like to keep in a clump of 2 or 3, or do you like to keep it individual root bases wherever you can get a root base that'll separate?
Wherever I can get a root, I break it down to the smallest little thing possible.
That's what I used to do too. I used to go and let them grow out, because usually, by the time I got around to selling them, they had new healthy leaves that people can see and all that type of thing. So yeah. I was just curious on what your preference was on that, because the other cool thing with I heard the Osmocote stuff. The other cool thing with that is especially if you use the Aquachar substrate, it helps with kind of that balancing as it breaks down. Because the organics will get pulled up, or the inorganics get pulled up and the organics get pulled down. So it'll help with the breakdown of the detritus on the levels and allow that breakdown to remain in the immediate root column.
Right. Exactly. it makes the bacteria hang out in the right zones too, rather
Yes,
than being
correct.
all over the place. Let's see what this is. Do I think calcium sulfate is better than calcium chloride for remineralizing? I use calcium sulfate. I think it's better because it's easier to dissolve, which is, as you said. But I will be dabbling around with some calcium nitrate in my new farm tank as a source of calcium and nitrate. Um, I got wind of a new recipe from my esteemed colleague Gaznafar that he's been having had tucked away for a while. So I'm gonna mess around with some calcium nitrate in the near future, and I'll let you guys know what I find with it. But apparently, it's nice. You just got to be very precise, and it does involve a bit of dilution out of the tank before mixing it, and you have to make a couple gallons of it at a time. So, but at the same time, I mean, I'm all about stability. I'm not about like starting on a dosing regimen here and then using it for 3 weeks and saying, "Oh, this sucks," and then changing my dosing regimen. I'll stick to a method till I see that it obviously isn't working, and I haven't tried a method that doesn't work as long as you stick to it. So, but yeah, no, I think calcium sulfate's much better than calcium chloride.
Yeah, you
If it's
really don't know until you get new leaves growing.
right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean that's the other thing too. I mean, a bottle of Osmocote, if you only have like 120p or a 90p, one of the simple little bottles of Osmocote, that's all you need for your hobby. Like that'll last you.
Years.
That'll last you forever if you use it right. But if you're packing capsules and cramming it in there, it won't last you long, and your bio load in your tank won't last long either.
I don't know. Do you use your curved tweezers? Like I use so like I always try to get like you want to have like really straight curved tweezers that I haven't stepped on. I used to get like a couple pieces of Osmocote cut like stuck in there so I can kind of tuck it in underneath the.
I just
I
use
use the
straight.
straight ones
Yeah, because I just go in
up from the side. Yeah,
Yeah.
so same concept. Yeah.
So, what's going on with the tanks behind you, Grant? What are those all about? I keep seeing them.
They don't
Just
look like shrimp.
no shrimp. These are some leftover dwarf neon rainbows that I'm working
Nice.
with a local breeder in Plant City who breeds a bunch of different nano fish. Now that we have a resale license, I can like go through and get different fish and stuff like that. But I don't really want to do anything that's like cichlids or not gonna go side by side with shrimp. So. The flower horns don't make a lot of sense, but that's what makes Jaden happy. So he's got a couple flower horns going on. But Shelby's also got her emperor dudgeons in there. Maybe a female, maybe a male, female. I don't know. If it is a male, he doesn't flare up very pretty compared to other ones that we see online. And I
They
guess the
take a
females can show a little bit of color too. We've had them for, I don't know, like 6 to 8 months now. It's been a while.
So yeah, mine took like 3 or 4 before I could really tell.
And then these are like Jaden's angelfish and Layla's albino Cory cats, and then Shelby's Danios just swimming around. So
Auction wins.
not auction wins. The angels and the Cory cats were door prizes. Like we never win door prizes, and the kids kept their tickets, and they both won. And the only door prizes that time were fish bags. So, but I want to start doing the breeder award programs, and I want to make a deal with like one of the out of state clubs, like hopefully like Colorado or something like that, where I do a talk for them every single year, and I bring several different bags of fish with us and stuff like that, so we can get master breeder in several different fish clubs.
Nice.
So, and then do a talk at the same time, but like for the breeder award program, like most of them are yet to bring 6 2-month-old fish that you bred yourself. So, I'd be donating several bags of fish with my talk. So
You guys need to look into joining the ALA and getting into the American Library Association, and do
we'll
that.
we'll be there. That's the week before Dallas. We're signed up.
Nice.
We got 2 tables, and we just got to figure out if it's the whole weekend and Wednesday, or if Wednesday's just a setup. That's the only thing we got to figure out.
And where's
Where's
this
that
at
at?
again?
Kentucky.
Oh, I was just there. I'm all right.
But
My last 2 experiences in Dallas gives me no desire, because one of them I got hit by a car.
yeah, no. The Triple Crown though is ALA, the American Achilles Association, and the American Cichlid Association, and there was something else thrown in there too after it was already deemed the Triple Crown. So really, it's the Quadruple Crown or whatever now. But dude, they've got 3 hotels booked for this event.
Nice.
It's like
Awesome.
it's way bigger than the one down in South Florida.
Good.
Yeah.
Very good. That's awesome. Yeah, no, South Florida was rough when I went on down here. Like,
It was great for us, man.
yeah, no, it was good for a few vendors, but the ALA got it rough. Like,
Oh yeah,
so
they had 1 entry in their guppy contest.
yeah.
So-
Well, it was really, I don't know. They miscommunication. That's all I'm gonna say from what I know.
I think it's going to be a lot bigger this year because they're going to have so many people there. Like, why wouldn't? I mean, if I had guppies that I've been breeding for over a year, I'd enter them in. Just
Oh,
You
yeah.
got
fun.
2 years of breeding that you can release. It's going to be something.
Yeah. So we got another question here for aqua soil. How many pounds would you want to plan for a 75-gallon standard? Going to be mostly crypts and swords. So yeah, you're going to want it deep. Both of those are deep rooting plants, swords and crypts. Definitely going to want it deep. So as far as, yeah, that's what I would say. I would put around 50 in it. Minimum 50. If you want any kind of slope or slant or hills, you need to account for that too. I mean,
I
you
think I
could.
put 11 12-liter bags in my 190. So
Yeah.
I never did a 75 though.
Yeah.
But
So,
my 190 was properly thick for big swords and crypts.
so yeah, definitely need it somewhat deep. Usually, rule of thumb is like 4 inches or so.
At least 3.
Yeah. So that's usually what I do. We got one more. I remineralize outside of tank. I don't remineralize in my tank because of you have precipitation that can go on with the calcium and things along those lines, and I just don't like. I don't believe in mixing it in the tank. I want to make sure that the water that I'm putting in the aquarium is up to the chemistry that's already in the aquarium, so that way there's more stability. That's why I run my planted tanks by TDS. I have a range of TDS that I work with, and if it gets above that range of TDS, I know I need to do a water change. If it's below that range of TDS, then I didn't have enough. I didn't remineralize right, so it just works well for me. And it also works well for the plants because I can monitor plant health that way. And when I develop that range, because it's particular to every tank, it's not just a set number. I actually have to monitor the tank for like a few weeks and figure out what works best. And once I have that range, though, I can run that range for a year or two and have the same success with those same numbers. So, but that's why I don't like mixing in the tank, because you won't get that same stability. You're going to basically be throwing different numbers each time. So,
And also, if you remineralize water in a bucket, mix it, test the TDS right away, test the TDS an hour, test the TDS 24 hours afterwards, you're going to get different readings all 3 times.
And that's the key to what I do, as well as I mix my water 24 hours ahead of time and keep it aerated the whole time. I never store stagnant water. It's always aerated,
Yeah.
always bubbling. Here you go, Mr. Grant.
So Landon soil is one of the soils that Uriel goes on about. I think Han used to sell it at one point. I've never actually tried it myself, but it should be a great soil for Caridina. If you're going to use it for Neos, just use like tap water or something with a lot of pH to bring the pH stable.
It works well for plants too. I did my cup tank where I tested a bunch of soils for plant growth, and Landon did really well. So if you're going to grow plants in it, it's good on its own without any kind of nutrients. I think it was like a good 2 months or so before I had to add anything. So happy plant growth too. So I didn't mean to put that up there, but we'll go through it.
Yeah, you can never buy too much substrate.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's too late if you're sold on the land and soil or not, but look into Brightwell substrate also. For like $80, you can get 25 pounds of it. So that's another good option. And when I was doing my math, I think the Brightwell was the most bang for your buck substrate to go get besides the bonsai soil.
So other soils that I recommend right now, man, I'm at such a loss for substrate. Like, I mean, I'm about to test ProDeBio as far as like what it can do growing like rare plants and stuff like that. But it depends on your goal. Again, let's go back to goal, what we're talking about today. It's hard for me to recommend a soil to you if I don't know your goal. Are you trying to grow like really rare plants, or are you just trying to do escape, or are you trying to do shrimp? I mean, if you're trying to do really rare plants right now, I can't really give you an answer because aqua soil was my go-to, and aqua soil right now is trash. The aqua soil ADA version 1 is not the same anymore. They've even like released stuff about it. It's a different quarry. So I'm at a loss for soil right now. That's why I'm looking into making my own soils more so than using commercial stuff right now. GH, what GH do I recommend? Again, depends on what I'm growing. If I have a bunch of Ramosior in there, I try to keep the GH like up around 8 to 12. If I'm growing like a bunch of Irios and Tonias and things like that, I'll keep the GH a little lower, like 4 to 6. But anywhere mixed tank, you can have happy growth with everything right around 6 to 8 in that range. There, you can get really happy growth from just about anything. It's a good calcium level. It's a good magnesium level. It keeps everything good. As long as you're remineralizing with calcium and magnesium and not K2SO4, the potassium sulfate. As if you're using potassium sulfate-based GH boosters, like the Nilog GH booster, majority of that is potassium sulfate. That's not going to do anything for your plant's uptake. That's just going to overload you with K. That's like so much K. It's ridiculous. And then same thing for the sulfate in that. The sulfates are just through the roof there. So when I cut out K2SO4 in my experience with aquatics, that's when I was really able to grow the rare plants. That was one of the things that was really holding me back, was just an abundance of K and sulfates, abundance of potassium and sulfates. So make sure that what you're mineralizing with is calcium and magnesium. That's it. That's all you need.
Where are you getting the land in, Crypt Keeper? Because
for real,
I'm
trying
of
to
the
figure
price. Unless my math is just horrible, which the only thing I got going for me is good math right now. So if that's out the window, later, guys. I'm just the shrimp breeder. But the cheapest price I can find the land in for is 40 pounds for $140. And I can get 50 pounds of Brightwell for $160. So it's like that's a little bit better of a price.
I agree, but I don't know.
Unless you've got a good source or
So I agree with him, man. I miss the old school Amazonia though, like the original Amazonia back like probably I don't know 8-9 years ago. Amazonia, that stuff was killer. The stuff that you'd have like an ammonia spike that would last like 4 or 5 months. That was good stuff. The stuff now it breaks down, and everybody who's been trying it, they get that really floofy green algae phase where if you're not like super heavily planted off the bat, it's not going to work well for you. I can't even. I'll have to get pictures for next time we're on here of some of the algae I've had people send me pictures of from using this new Amazonia. And I'm not talking about the version 2. I'm talking about the stuff labeled Amazonia. That's the problem. It's crazy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You will, especially on Rotella ramosia or any Rotellas. So that's a big thing. So you've got a low calcium rate if your GH is 4, and that's going to be that's your uptake nutrient right there. So it's not going to be able to process any of the other nutrients that you're putting in there. Both those plants, both Rotella, Macrandra, be it whatever variant it is, all the Macrandras and all the Ramosiors are very calcium hungry plants. You'll notice some drastic improvements if you up your GH on those guys. Do it slowly though, because again, if you've been running a steady 4 and you just jump it up to an 8, that's a huge shift in water chemistry. You're doubling the hardness of your water. Think about that. So do it really, really slow, like within like a process of probably 2 to 3 months of water changes, up your GH. Don't just up it. Because if you do that, you'll notice the dreaded Ramosiar droop where your plants just like, yeah. And after that, they just rot out. They rot out from the stem. So raise your GH very, very slowly. And that'll help both of those plants.
But no, I just ran my math again, and yeah, no matter what way you run it, Brightwell is 3 pounds more for your buck, basically. If you just buy one bag of Brightwell compared to like the 2 bags of Landon or whatever, you're getting an extra 3 pounds for the same price. Not sponsored by Brightwell anymore, so it's just the most bang for your buck.
I have to check Tommy's prices. Tommy has great stuff, by the way. If anybody is looking for like hardscape and stuff like that, Tommy from Aqua Rocks has some really good stuff. But yeah, I'll have to check.
Hey guys, I gotta take off.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't realize we're at like an hour and 23 minutes almost. So we'll probably do like 1 or 2 more questions and we'll be done.
Just try to run through the chat real quick. I see Dane jumped in late, but
yeah, go ahead and call some stuff out to me.
Also, I heard you guys talking about what are we trying to get to as far as a giveaway?
Well, we're gonna do $25 each from both of us to use at our stores. So, and then
when they use that, we'll give them a free bag of Aquachar.
Yeah. So, we're gonna give them your Aquachar to cover you.
Well, I'm trying to think. Maybe I'll do like 3 substrate bags of the flakes.
That works too.
Because as long as some people at the bottom floor just testing it. Like I might make, but it might be like you have to show me that you actually are going to set up a tank soon. Like I don't want people just wanting to win.
So why don't we run a separate thing for you?
Yeah, that works.
If anybody's doing a new tank in the near future, send us a picture of your empty tank that you're getting ready to set up, and we'll enter you in the Aquachar substrate package giveaway contest brought to you by Mr. Brian.
And also, Chance, like I just did a giveaway on our channel for hitting 3K subs. You're 156 subs away from hitting 1K, And with us doing the live streams every week, you should be able to get monetized around the same time that you get hit the 1K mark. So we should do a giveaway for that as well.
All right.
Plan
So
that.
if anybody's interested, I hope so. I'm gonna do a giveaway for 1,000 subs on my channel too. I think. What'd you say? How far away was I?
156.
So I'm 156 away from 1,000 subscribers right now. So if that happens, I'll go ahead and I'll give away. I'll do a $50 gift card from.
And I'll throw in a $50 gift card too.
You're awesome, Grant. Thank you. So $100 gift card for the $1,000 subscribers.
And I'll do whatever you want me to do.
It's got to be on when the first stream once you hit 1K.
Well, I'm trying to think of like
Half-Scaped thing,
something that I can do different.
That works.
So you got to commit, so that way we get a routine going on. But next week Wednesday will be episode 3 on the Garden of Eater channel, and then episode 4 will be the following week on Champ.
Yep.
So hopefully we can set up the goal, and what I'll do is I'll announce it, on our channel too. So
here's what I can do. So like I got these bags that I'm using as you could use as a substrate builders or something for aquascaping. So like a gallon of they're preloaded with bacteria. So what I could do is I could use put a gallon of these. So 4 of these makes a gallon. It's usually like $100 or whatever. But it's meant for under your substrates, like stacking it up in the back. So like the guy with the 75, if you're trying to save bags and stuff like that, you can use this under your soil and kind of give like that kind of biological breakdown for that. So yeah, get to 1,000. I'll give 4 of those.
Perfect. Amazing. So there you have it, folks.
Something different than just giving aquachar, because like that's like 400 gallons of aquachar, and I don't know that many people are looking for that. So.
And then it's up to you whether you want to give it to all the one person or we want to pull 3 different people. Because you can go back to our stream that we did on Monday. But if you go to StreamYard/giveaways, StreamYard.com/giveaway, you can set a hashtag, and then people in chat can enter that hashtag, and then you can do the live drawing, and it'll go through and cycle their names. It'll also get rid of duplicates and stuff like that too. So
nice. So what I'll do then,
going through and giving more giveaways also on our channel, just because of how nice and fun that was. And I'll have overstock of certain types of shrimp, or you can have overstock
plants
certain
and stuff,
plants or something like that. We can start giving them away.
That works, man. Yeah. So what I'll do a video tomorrow or the next day. I'll do a video by Friday on what my giveaway is going to be for 1,000 subscribers.
You also need to do the giveaway on your freaking moss thing, since you wanted to drop that bomb. Oh, I got something better than yogurt, and you don't want to give it up on this chat. So you better do that video soon, like pronto, man.
Dude, I gotta know.
I'm gonna hold that video over you for a while. Then actually, that's what I'll do.
Hey, Josh, I need to give you a call and talk about your teacher session with Gaz.
You act like I need that stuff. It's for the people.
Personally,
I want to go ahead and just go find the biggest piece of driftwood out there and then just lay it down, and I can just take moss and cover the entire thing. I don't need the yogurt method. I have so much moss that I can
just messing with you, man.
Hey, let's make how about we learn it on live stream like everyone else does, and then you can post a video right at the same time.
I'm kind of disappointed that you didn't do any scaping tonight, Brian.
I know, I'm not feeling too cool, and I got my son who's got influenza and all that stuff, so I really need to get in there and check it out.
Yeah, go do your thing, man. Hope your son gets better. Hope your family stays safe and healthy.
Yeah. It's just one of those things.
It is life.
So, all right, guys, I'll catch you guys later. I'll let you guys finish with the show, and we'll chat later.
Yeah, take care, man.
All right,
bye. So, thank you so much, Aquaman. We appreciate it. I meant to put this up before Brian left, but I'm sure he'll see it. We'll show him. We appreciate that so much. That's our goal, to be real, relatable, not to be characters or egos. We're just people who love the hobby and want to share what we have with you guys. But I am going to hold the mixing method for a video.
No,
I
I'm
will.
saying you do that video and post it like this week or something, man.
I will. Yeah, I'll have it up for you.
It's not for
I
me.
promise.
I was just
No,
curious.
I'm gonna dedicate it to you. I'm gonna do my intro is gonna be all fancy and flashy. I'm gonna have 4 Grant Eater. That's what it's gonna do.
I want to get my hands on different kind of springtails and use those in my scapes too. They got like yellow ones.
I know I saw that. I saw there's some new variants of them and stuff. I've got some funky looking ones, but not. I think they're
So-
just regular, but are probably not.
I've got 2 different kinds, I think, outside. One of the things that I've been doing, like, I don't know, I just been making it a thing. Part of my daily morning routine is I'll feed everything outside, and then I'll start messing around with the grow bed, and I'll flood it, and just completely just all the way up to the brim, so where it's dumping out the sides, and then
Yeah.
I got a lizard that runs through and goes through all the Anubis and cleans all the bugs that kind of crawl up the plants to get away from the water.
Awesome.
And I don't know, the grow bed's been doing pretty well. Like those swords have been booming for sure. I've been changing a bunch of things around.
Yeah, the title. So what you're doing with the tidal effects of the bed like that, that's what the Econodoris are like naturally prone to. So and the crypts too would probably do really well in that situation.
They're in there. I've got
Yes.
2 crypts that you gave me. I don't know what they are.
If you
I'll
send
have
me
to
some
send you-
pictures,
I know.
I'll yeah.
So
I'm
dude,
actually
I
gonna
sent you the
be-
picture of those lilies and you never messaged.
I'm sorry, I missed it. I'm gonna actually be over your way the 17th of June this month, and I may be over your way the 11th, I guess too. I don't know yet.
Yeah,
so
it's a possibility. I messaged 2 people trying to find out if we can get somebody else up here in time, but if not, the Wabikusa is a good idea. So
yeah, no, I mean, yeah, just let me know. But I will be having the meeting this Sunday as long as whatever this storm is rains out completely on Saturday, and we're not getting like torrential downpours on Sunday.
I thought you could just have it in the greenhouse, man. I know it's loud, but
There's I forgot how many people said they were coming, but I don't think that many people would fit in the greenhouses right now. I got a lot of things going on in the greenhouses right now. They're packed.
that's good.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so far the meeting is still on. It's kind of pending weather. If weather is okay, then we're gonna have it. If not, then we'll have to figure something out. Either
Do you have a
postpone it.
nonprofit and everything set up for that going already, or is that the goal?
That's the goal. So that's why I'm not collecting any funds. That's why the auction is going to be 100% to the people. There's not going to be any house cut, stuff like that. Right now, it's just basically a meeting place at my place under the guy's name of Florida Aquatic Plant Club. The goal with this first meeting is to discuss ways for us to legitimize and make this club a 501c and move forward with, what clubs do and build the hobby and businesses and other people in this area up, as well as all of Florida, which is why I changed it from South Florida Aquatic Plant Club to Florida Aquatic Plant Club, because I'm going to be doing field trips and trips all up and down the coast of Florida, doing plant huntings and stuff like that. And I want to include all the clubs. I don't want to be, again, think of it like Aquascape, how it's not just about one person, it's about a whole, or one business, it's about a whole bunch of businesses. So the Florida Aquatic Plant Club, I want to basically be similar to what the AGA is and incorporate a whole bunch of clubs into one club, but be the aquatic plant portion of those clubs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So that's my goal with that.
It's kind of like the Florida Guppy Club. They're kind of part of everything. They'll show up at the T-Bass and the Pasco Club and do their like whole spiel, like, hey, we're having our meeting at Coach's house where they do the fancy guppy show and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's exactly what I want to go for, and gear it all towards around awareness of plants and our hobby, used in any kind of style scaping or anything.
But when Kevin brought up your name today and said that you could be talking this month now, I was like, man, I was more thinking like having you come for November because for whatever reason somebody already booked our venue for that month, so we won't be able to do our talk there. So they're thinking about doing like a collecting trip or something like that. And I thought the plant walk would be perfect, but don't just make it a plant walk. You know what I mean? Make it a collecting trip, but like have you and Ryan from Wild Fish Tanks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when people net a plant or net a fish, they can go to you, go to Ryan, go to Bill Shields, and figure out what they found, identify it, label it, categorize it. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Document
I'm down for both.
locations and stuff like that. So
I'm down for both. I'll be over your way in November too, because Cassie has a dog show training thing over there in
well,
November.
you coming to get that cow trough or what? You said
Yeah,
you're
no.
coming to
Oh,
get
yeah,
that.
no. I'll be able to then too. I'll be able to before that.
That's
Actually,
way too long. Yeah.
no. I'll be
Before
able to
that.
grab that. I'll be able to grab that the
If you get-
17th. I'll be able to grab that this month, bro. Next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sweet. I'm excited about that. I forgot about that.
Yeah. No, I just haven't been wanting to go outside. Like we've been swimming and doing other things and stuff like that. But I do know like one of these days I got to get everything together and just tackle the right side of the house and get it all done. And then I'm going to completely just clean out everything. I need to find a good source for a landscape fabric because like I bought my roll ages ago and I can't find the source where I got it from anymore. So I need to hit up some of these local nurseries and see if they got a couple good rolls.
Yeah, that's the best place to look, are nurseries.
Yeah.
But it's getting late, dude. It's 11:36.
Yeah, man.
I'm getting tired, so I'm gonna call it a night. But I appreciate everybody tuning in. Thank you so much, and thank you, Grant, for jumping on, and thank you, Brian. I hope your kids are good, and Shelby, I hope you're all right.
She's just tired. It's been a busy week. It's done so much over the last 8 or so days. So
Oh, I'm sure, man. I'm sure. But anyway, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Have a good night.
we'll see you next week.
Bye.